Hello, my name is Hakon, and welcome back, all you fabulous fighting fantasy aficionados, for another day of fighting fantasy frolics and fun as we delve into the Pirates of the Seas of Blood. That's not the title of the book, it's just called Seas of Blood, but you are a pirate and you're trying to be the best pirate. I've played this twice now, and it is a really difficult book, it seems, or at least if you take the wrong path, it is extremely difficult. I don't know what the right path is yet. Maybe that is easier. I wouldn't bank on it. This is all my map. It's just tiny. I have two playthroughs, and this is all I've got. That's how hard it is. So, without too much further ado, I'll get started. Right. As you may see now, I've got 3 dice today, not 2, because in this book you need to roll 3 dice every now and again. So usually I only get 2 of each die. So I bought an extra one of this style of die just so I could have 3 that look the same. Well, they're all individually different really, but 3 of the same style. So they're quite nice looking ones as well. Right. I'll get my stats done, although I'm not really sure what I can do with low stats in this book, because stats are really important. I will just roll a bit and see. So crew strike was 1 die plus 6, and that 12. That is pretty much what I need, actually. Crew strength was 2 dice plus 6, I believe that was. It's been a few days now. It's been a few days. Let's see. What does it say now? 2 dice plus 6. Yeah, that's the crew strength. Okay. 13. My own skill. I'm rerolling ones. 12. I don't know how important that is going to be, but probably a good idea to have a lot of it. Stamina 5. No, not too low. 7. Yeah, okay. 19. And finally luck. 9. Yeah, okay. I'll go with 9. Right, so we have... And also we start the game with 20 gold pieces as well. So we got a little bit of gold to start with. Okay, let's just get started. I'm just wondering, do I need to... Is my white balance okay? I'm just wondering if I should make it a little bit warmer. Yeah, I think that looks better. Right. So, let's get started with the background, which in this book is called The Wager. The city of Tak, at the northern end of the inland sea, is the greatest den of thieves, criminals, and cutthroats the civilized world has ever seen. Every form of vice and illicit activity is not only permitted, but even encouraged in this city of scum. This, your hometown, is where your adventure begins. Of the numerous pirates drawn to Tak, you and Abdul the Butcher are recognized by all as being the kings in daring and greed. However, neither of you are particularly wealthy, as your love of gambling consumes all the riches that you bring back from your journeys against the enemy cities of Lagash, Marad, and Kish. The infamy that the 2 of you have bred is also the source of a great rivalry. You each try to outdo the other in increasingly dangerous but breathtakingly successful... Every time I see breathtakingly there, I think breathtakingly stupid. But yeah, breathtakingly successful raids. Your goal, the title of King of Pirates, the sacker of cities, which is never bequeathed but only earned. One evening, while dicing against each other in one of Tak's gambling pits, somebody suggests that the 2 of you should have a contest to determine once and for all who is the greatest pirate. The idea appeals instantly to your audacious spirits. "Yes," says Abdul, "let us have a race of speed and treasure." I don't know if that's how he speaks, but You agree upon the terms of the contest. Each will take only one ship and, sailing from Tak on an appointed day, will head for the distant isle of Nippur, which lies deep in the great southern sea. The journey must be completed within 50 days, and at the end, whoever has the greatest amount of gold wins the bet. With shaking of hands all round and much toasting, the deal is sealed. Your journey is about to begin. And so it begins. So, no tea today, you might be shocked to see, and that's because before rolling camera now, I actually just finished a cup of tea, and having two that close together is a bit much even for me. So, it's water now. On the day appointed for the beginning of the race, you take the Banshee out of the towering... The Banshee, that's a nice name for a ship. Out of the towering granite bay of Tak and into the inland sea. Abdul the Butcher's Havildar cuts quietly through the water beside you. Far to the east, in the hostile but rich port of Lagash. To the west is the Sidra. Far to the east is the hostile but rich port of Lagash. To the west is the Sidra Desert, across which the caravan routes to the cities of Kish, Kala, and Asur run. To the south is the mountainous isle of Enraki. Will you head towards Lagash for a dangerous but daring raid against its coastal shipping? Travel to the Sidra Desert to plunder the rich western caravans, or patrol the inland sea via the Isle of Enraki. So, what have I done before? I've tried doing the inland sea towards Enraki. I've tried going towards Lagash. I still have not tried to go towards the Sidra Desert. And I am wondering what I should do, because none of the options I've done seem in any way easy. I mean, there's some really, really tough battles. I'm just wondering now where I should be going. Maybe just because it just still doesn't feel like I can tell for sure if any of these options are the best one. So, which means I should take the third option, which is traveling to the Sidra Desert to plunder the rich western caravans. So that is what I will do. So I will go to paragraph 20. Excuse me. Roll 3 dice, and this is why I got the third dice. The third die, rather. So 9 plus 4, that's 13, and that is equal to or greater than the crew strength. Okay, I don't have a great crew strength, do I? So that means I take 6 days to get where I'm going. Eventually you arrive off the coast of the Sidra Desert, where you drop anchor, disembark with most of the crew, and march inland across the burning sands. Excuse me. You come to a busy little village surrounding an oasis, obviously a staging post for travel through the desert. Will you attack the village or retreat into the nearby dunes to lie in ambush for any caravan that might happen by? So 2 options. This is where I'm going to run out of space on my map. I'll have to move it over to the side at some point. So 143 village, 79 caravan. I'm going to hide in the dunes and see if I can excuse me, ambush a caravan. I think that's what I'll go for. So 79. For 3 days, you and your crew lie under the blazing sun of the Sidra Desert, waiting for sight of the lumbering pack animals common among caravans in this part of the world. Add 3 days to your log. You begin to run low on provisions and fresh water. Will you wait for just a few more days among these dunes, or give up on the desert and return to the Banshee? Now, this is where, again, there should be another option, which is to go and attack the village again, because that's an oasis and you could fill up on fresh water. And you could still ambush the caravans afterwards. So I think that's an option missing there. Anyway, I think I'll move my mapping over to the side anyway. First of all now, sooner rather than later. So I'm going to go up here and put in 194 or 35. 35, return, or wait. I'm going to wait a few more days. After just one day, a caravan of enormous ochre-coloured octopedal beasts shambles over a ridge and into sight. The heavy pack animals are guarded by a dozen lizard men who, high in their wooden saddles, survey the surroundings with some suspicion. Keeping your men out of sight, you allow the convoy to approach within striking range. Then launch the attack. As your crew surge out, uttering their war cry, the lizard men calmly draw long composite bows and let fly. The 3-foot arrows cut a swathe through your force. Deduct 2 points from your crew strength. Eventually, hand-to-hand combat ensues. No, begins, actually, not ensues. I put my ensues in there because it just looked right. So I'm down to crew strength 11. And then we have... excuse me. A bit sniffly again today. It's another rainy day, and this is when I usually get sniffly. So... right, so I am now at 12, 11, and they have 8, 6, so that should be alright. So I've got a skill advantage, or strike advantage of 3. So, and they roll 8, I roll 6, that is success. 7 versus 7, again, that is good. 9 versus 6, that is a draw. 11 and 2, that is definitely not a draw. 11 again. 5. 6 and 10, there we are. So I've got a crew strength of 7. Not very good, is it? So add 1 day. And we win and turn to 329. With the guards overcome, you and your crew loot the caravan, stripping boxes, sacks, and skins of wine from the great pack beasts. The amount of booty, however, is not large. You find 63 gold pieces, but the stuff that you could sell at the oasis, it's also booty, isn't it? You could go and sell it somewhere. Come on. Anyway. It's not all gold that is booty. Let's see. So we got 83 gold now. And only one of the surviving lizardmen is in fit enough condition to be traded as a slave. So I've got 1 slave now. A little disappointed, you gather up your now drunken crew and return to the Banshee. Turn to 35. Okay, so 63 gold, 1 slave. Okay. Returning to the Banshee, you weigh anchor and set off out to sea. If your crew have taken casualties, you could head for the neutral city of Asur to recruit some more men. I think that's a good idea. This one I had on my map already somewhere, did I not? If I can find it now. Sure. Oh yeah, there it is. So 171 or alternatively, it could go to the neighboring city of Kala, 211, or Andraki is 76. So that means my options are 76. So that is the same as in the beginning there. Or it's there, or there. Okay, so there we are. I think I should go and see if I can get some more men. Because, I mean, I can't go around with a crew strength of 7. I can't do anything. So, I'm going to go 171. You head for the neutral city of Asur, the Banshee ploughing steadily through the still waters of the inland sea. Roll 3 dice. Against crew strength again, so that's over crew strength, which means I take the longer time, so it's less than crew strength, add 5 days. If the result is equal to or greater than crew strength, add 6 days. So I'm on day 16 already. If your log is an odd number, 2376. If it is an even number, 2357. It's an even number, so we are going to 357. I like that, how you can have different things happening, whether it's an odd or even number, actually. Quite a good mechanic, I think. So, when you are only a day sailing from Asur, your lookout spots a speck on the horizon ahead. It grows into a sail and then a ship, sharp prow and triangular canvas bearing down on you with speed. It's a nice sentence there. A little banner flutters from the mainmast. It is a Kishian warship. You pull about and attempt to evade, but the cutter has the wind and the speed to bring it alongside the Banshee. Grappling irons and arrows fly, troops ready to board. You will have to fight. And this also gives the option of escaping. So, an escape in this book actually works in an interesting way. It means you have to first have a successful attack before you can try to escape. You can't escape without having a successful attack. And then you can escape and you lose 1 attack round when escaping, which is the usual standard rules. So I am 12-7. They are 10-8. So should be in my favor there. So there we are. I've got a 2 skill point or 2 strike point advantage, and let's roll. So 6 and 12. Good start. 7 and 6. That is brilliant. So there we are. 4, 8 and 7. Ooh, another good roll there. Just within the parameters. 9 and 8. Ooh, my. See, if my crew strike had been too low now, I would have lost all those rounds. So fight. And defeat. So that is, I just escaped from this last time I met it because I didn't have any crew strength left. I only had 4. Last time I met this ship, I only had 4 crew strength left, which means that I would lose 2 from escaping, and that was just not worth the risk at the time. Or maybe actually I think it was worth the risk at the time, but I know that now. The Kishian Marines are defeated and the warship set afire. Boarding and searching the enemy vessel, you discover a chest in the master's quarters, which contains 27 gold pieces. So we have now 110. From the survivors among the Marines, you find 3 fine specimens for the slave markets of the Eastern Rim. That's 4. Scuttle the warship and continue towards Asur. Turn to 376. So there we are. 3, 7, 6. The journey to Asur is uneventful. The horizon remains clear of ships and foul weather until your arrival at the city. You disembark and head straight for the central market area to look for some sailors to recruit as pirates. Test your luck. Luck is only 9. Let's see how that goes. 6, yeah. We are lucky. Luck goes down to 8. So let's see. Test luck. 283. Lucky or 146 unlucky. I am lucky, so I go to 283. A day's ferocious bargaining in the markets leaves you with the conviction that most willing and able-bodied men are unattracted by the razzle-dazzle of the piratical way of life. Well, Well, no surprises there, I guess. However, by a stroke of good fortune, you come across a slave dealer who is drastically overstocked with captured pirates-made slaves, and who is willing to part with them for a song. For every 10 gold pieces spent, you will be able to recover 1 point of crew strength. This slave dealer also lets slip a casual remark about a wealthy shrine built some miles up the main river which flows to the side of Asur. Having restocked your crew, you could make a small excursion upriver to check the place out and possibly seize some of its riches. That sounds very interesting. Alternatively, you could leave Asur and either patrol southeast into the inland sea, turn to 318. That's here. Or head south down the western coastline, turn to 45. Do I have 45 anywhere? Can't see it. Okay, so 10 gold per crew strength. Okay, so I need 6 to have a full crew strength, and I probably should just do that. So buy 60 gold's worth of slaves to fill up my crew. And then we have the option of going to which is south west coast, or 355 shrine, which sounds like the most interesting one, or 318, which is down here. Okay, so definitely checking out the shrine. After drinking a little bit of water. It's quite thirsty work being a pirate. Arr. Right, heading inland, you seek out the rumored shrine. Add 3 days to your log. Oops, 19. I didn't use any days. Hang on. Was I supposed to add some days now? It would have made sense to add a day here too, but it doesn't say, so... Okay. Add 3 days to your log, yes. Eventually you find it nestled in a cozy dell and surrounded by vegetation. Its stonework is monolithic, rising 40 or 50 feet into the air and lavishly decorated with human skeletons in tortured poses. Sounds like an evil place. Your crew refused to approach any closer than bowshot range. A bowshot, possibly. Laughing at this superstitious cowardice, you proceed towards the structure alone and climb the high stairs to the entrance with forced nonchalance. Nonchalance. Not nonchalance. Ugh. Yeah, assimilation, it's called when your sounds become the same as the ones earlier in the word. Anyway. Nonchalance. Inside, the atmosphere is dark and oppressive, but at least devoid of life. Before you is a wide, straight corridor and a very steep and narrow set of stairs heading down into the bowels of the shrine. Which will you take? The corridor or the stairs? Right, so... so 63, corridor... or 85 stairs. Okay, so I suppose I'll go with the stairs. So 85. The stairs lead into a slimy darkness. Not just darkness, but slimy darkness. The walls dripping with moisture and covered with moss press in close on either side. Water trickles down the stairs at your feet, making your progress rather precarious. Without warning, a 10-foot leech, enormous by anyone's standards, lunges from its lair above and bites you on the shoulder. You hack at it in a frenzy. For every round of combat that the leech is still alive, it will suck 2 points of stamina from you. Oof. Good thing I had 19 stamina, not my first roll, which was a bit lower. Right, so I have, this is my skill and stamina, 12, 19 now. And the leech is 8, 8. And it will do 2 damage every round, whether it hits me or not. So I got a 4-point skill advantage as we start. 8 and 5, so that means I hit it, but it is alive, so I go down to 17 as well. 7, or maybe I should use, no, I shouldn't use luck for this. And 9, yep, so down to 4, but I also lose 2. He rolls 2, I roll 7. It's down to 2, I'm down to 13. Should I use luck for this? No, I shouldn't. He rolls 7, I roll 3. That is a draw. I take 2 damage. He rolls 4 and I roll 11. He is dead and I take no more damage. But I am down to 11 stamina. That was a nasty, nasty, nasty monster. So that is at 8, 8 asterisk for special rules. And then we go to 162. The leech drops from its lair and lies quivering at your feet. You notice that the hole it came from is rather wide, with rough-cut handholds cut into its side. It should be possible to climb into and up this tunnel. Would you continue down the stairs or climb up the leech's hole? Interesting, interesting choice. I will... see, 199 leech or 183 stairs. Now I'm going to go up the leech's hole. I know, curiosity to kill the cat and all that. The climb takes you out of the shrine and onto the roof. You weigh with your crew skulking in the foliage some distance away and then look to see which way to go next. The only way forward is to climb down another chimney, of which there are several. Picking one at random, you descend into a small closet-like room. There are 2 doors leading from it. Which will you take, the left or the right? Okay. So 264 left or 289 right. I'm going to go left. The door leads into a small room whose high walls disappear into a glowing vaporous mass above you. The Pearly Radiance which this cast fills you with warmth and a feeling of well-being. You recover 4 points of stamina and 2 points of luck. Plus 4 stamina, plus 2 luck. So luck is back to 9. Stamina is up to 13. That's good. Oh, hang on. 4 points of stamina. It's up to 15. There is no other exit from the chamber, so you return to the chimney and take the other door. So that means that if I get to this point again, that is a correct choice to make. So that's... I don't have many of those. I mean, in some of these games, I quite quickly can sort of spy out what is the optimum path, but not in this one. So, 289. So there we are. The door opens into a large, heavily buttressed hall, of which the centerpiece is a small, hideous statue raised on a low obsidian pillar. Standing on either side of this idol are 2 acolytes, garbed in the traditional crocodile skins of the servants of the Lords of Decay. They take a menacing pace forward and draw long dirks from their thigh scabbards. "Blasphemer," says one. "We shall hasten your journey to the land of perpetual sleep." They attack. You will fight them one at a time. Right, so we have... excuse me. So 8, 6... 7, 6. 12, 15. That's mine. 8, 6, 7, 6. Good thing. Okay, so First one, I got a 4 skill point advantage as I get started. So he rolls a 10, I roll a 6, that's a draw. 3 and 7, okay, down to 4, 5 and 6, down to 2, 5 and 8. The first one is dead. Gone to meet his maker. Throw him to the crocodiles later. Okay, so we have 5 skill point advantage for the second one, and he rolls a 9, I roll 11. I like these dice. Okay, 9 and 10. And finally, 6 and 6. Okay. That went rather well. So I defeat them and I go to 388. 388. Having defeated the acolytes, you approach the statue, an ugly depiction of one of the lords of decay. Stylized carrion hang from its toothed beak, and several of its numerous insectoid limbs are shown rending various creatures to death. Its beady eyes seem to penetrate straight through you. Looking closer, you see that the idol has a huge ruby cut in the shape of a forked tongue inside its gaping maw. Will you reach in to grab the jewel? Or try to lift the statue from its pedestal to carry it outside to your waiting men? If I reach into its mouth, will it bite me? If I carry it off, will it not attack? Will it come to life? I mean, if it does come to life in some way, shape, or form, then both options seem a little bit... Right, so... perhaps I should do a save game point now, just to be sure, because just so I don't make the disastrously wrong choice. I'll try to carry it outside. The statue is easily raised from its pedestal, and while being heavy, presents no real difficulties as you carry it outside, down the stairs and into the arms of your waiting crew. Returning to Asur, you sell the idol for 105 gold pieces. 155. Leaving the ruby for the lucky new owner to recover. On the Banshee again, will you go raiding south, down the western seaboard, or sail southeast into the inland sea in search of merchantmen? So I've got 45 again, that's here. So just put in here, that's 105, so 105 gold pieces. So 45 or 318. Do I have 318? I wonder. Yes, I do. That's the one there. Let's move that down there. Okay, so very dry throat now. I'm just trying to see if anything interesting going on here. Oh yeah. That seems like an okay thing. Okay, I'm going to do 318. That seems to lead to somewhere where I know I'm getting something out of it without too much difficulty. So the Banshee cuts through the quiet waters of the inland sea. Your lookouts keep a continuous watch on the clear horizon for any sign of shipping. Roll 3 dice. So against crew strength again, and that is on crew strength, which means I'll do the higher of the numbers. That is 5 days. Excuse me. Rusty voice today. Okay, so yes. So if there is, so if your log is an even number, and now it's 24, so that is an even number. 2363 was an odd number, and last time I was here I got the odd number, which means that this is something different. So I'm going to go to 363 and see what happens with an even number. The horizon remains monotonously flat and devoid of shipping. Okay. Test your luck. Okay, so test the luck. Last time I saw something that I could attack, I think. I can't remember what it was, but there was something in the water I could attack. So test luck, and that is against 9. And I roll 8, so that is lucky. If I'm lucky, turn to 306. And if I'm unlucky, turn to 333. Let's put those in here, which is going to be make my map really messy if I'm doing something else and where I've already been now. So so 3, 3, 3, unlucky, 3, lucky. Okay. You sail into the midst of a large amount of driftwood, recent wreckage from some unfortunate vessel. Much of the floating planking is shattered and pocked with huge teeth marks. You find only a few barrels worth salvaging, scattered among all the destruction. One of these contains an excellent spirit, which, when served out to the crew, boosts their morale considerably. Restore 2 points to your crew strength. Okay. So that means that if I do this same path again, I will not have to increase my crew strength completely in the town, but I only need to put it up to 2 below. So let's see, plus 2 crew strength. Will you continue to patrol the inland sea by heading towards the shoals of Trista? Turn to 66. That's there. Okay, Trista 66. Or change course and travel to either the west coast. Turn to 157. 157. Do we have a 157 here somewhere? I can't see it. Or the eastern rim, turn to 10 for a bit of coastal raiding. Do I have 10? I do not appear to have the other options here. Which means I need to make room for those somewhere. So let's see. So we are here. That means I have another option there, which is because 157 west coast again. Didn't I have a west coast recently? I think that was a different number though. Can't see it here. Anyway, so 157 west coast, eastern rim 10. So west coast and 10 eastern rim. Okay. But I think I'll go towards the shoals of Trista. Right. The Banshee plows on towards the shoals of Trista. Roll 3 dice. That is below crew strength for a change, and then we add 4 days to the log, so I'm on day 28 now. As you near the treacherous reefs of the island of Trista, a vicious squall starts up from the north and looks as if it might turn into a major storm. Will you run with the storm by heading south or tack north into the wind? I'm going to run with the storm. and go to 103. The wind picks up, howling menacingly through the Banshee's rigging and driving the rain that starts to fall like needles on your crew. The ship crashes its way through the heavy seas. Test your luck. And I probably should save my game now. Because if I fail this, I think that's the end of it. Because I'll run onto the reefs, most likely. So I'm testing my luck. And I managed to do it. I rolled against 8 and I got 4. Which brings me to lucky 13, it looks like. So if I'm lucky, I go to 13. So yeah, lucky 13. After harrowing you for a day, the seas and wind, although again, it doesn't say add a day to the log, by the way. The seas and wind abate. The skies begin to clear. Before you on the horizon is the island of Trista, so the storm has carried you over and past the treacherous shoals. By some stroke of good fortune, the Banshee escaped destruction. Will you land on the island ahead, sail southeast, towards the Channel of Goth, or sail southwest, either towards Kish or the Rock? So, last time I went to the island ahead, didn't I? And that seemed like a place where you could get a bit of gold, so I'm going to go there. 152. New bottle of water. Add 1 day to your log. Okay. You heave to in a sheltered cove on the north coast. Disembarking with your crew, you proceed inland, crossing wide, carefully tended fields. In one of these, you come upon a large herd of cattle, quietly grazing on thick clover. Your crew suggests that as the Banshee is running low on provisions, they should slaughter some of the cattle for later use. As the fields are devoid of human life, will you give your crew the go-ahead, steal the cattle, or refuse and continue to explore the island? I will refuse. I still think something bad might happen if you try to do that with the cattle, so I'll just have a quick look at that. Yes, I thought so. So I'm still not going to do that. I'm never going to do that. So we go to the next one. As you march cross-country, a large body of heavily armed cavalry appears over a rise in front. They dispatched a herald towards you who says, "Adventurers, know that you are in the land of the King of the Four Winds, and that His Majesty requests the pleasure of your company at his table." All heralds talk like that, don't they? Yeah, that's like they're talking capital letters all the time. Will you follow the herald towards the cavalry and then presumably to the king, or return to your ship? I'm going to follow the herald. The cavalry lead you to an impressive castle, bedecked with banners and guarded by hundreds of men-at-arms. Revelries are in progress in the central courtyard. Leaving your crew here to partake of the wine and song, you are conducted into the main feast hall, where the King of the Four Winds sits among his retainers and courtiers. And by the way, there's something about this island in particular that reminds me of the Odyssey. So I'm sure that there's a little bit of inspiration from the Odyssey, I think, in this one. I could point out some other ones, but yeah, no, I'm sure there's something else too that reminds me of it. I can't think of it exactly at the moment, but that's one of those things. Where was I? Yes. Where the King of the Four Winds sits among his retainers and courtiers. With a welcoming gesture, the king bids you be seated only a few places from his throne. Oh, how privileged you are. He engages you in a rather loud conversation, as the feast hall is noisy with the festivities, about the weather and your journey. Always talking about the weather, aren't they? Well, I suppose if you are a pirate or a sailor, you will be talking about the weather a lot. It's so important. It's life and death, really, isn't it? Will you tell the king about the true nature of your trip or not? I will tell him about the true nature of it, because I've done this before, and that seemed like a good idea to do. "Ah, yes," says the king. "Abdul the Butcher and his men. I remember them well, as they were here but 3 days ago. Very poor table manners, but a lively wit. The king waves a servant over, whispers in his ear, and sends him away. When the servant returns, he is bearing 2 very large sacks. These, says the king, contain the north and south winds. As I gave the east and west winds to Abdul, I think it only fair I should give these to you. Open the bag containing the north wind on your journey to Nippur, and open the other bag when you wish to return. So, and I've got the north and the south wind. Which sounds more useful than east and west, actually, considering my my mission here now. Anyway. At the end of the feast, you gather your men and prepare to return to the Banshee. Your crew are intensely interested in the sacks and don't believe you when you tell them that they contain only air. They believe the king has filled them with treasure and that you are simply being greedy. Well, you're not supposed to divvy up the bounty until the end of the mission anyways. I don't know what they're going on about. Share it with us, they say, or we won't go on. We'll stay here. You can't open the sacks now, so will you give your crew 100 gold pieces to keep them quiet, or simply insist to them that they are being stupid not to believe you? And they are being stupid not to believe me, so there you go. After giving them a bit of verbal abuse, they mutter into their beards and look down at the ground, humiliated. Discipline has been restored. Turn to 312. Yes. 312. With the feast over, the king bids you farewell. You return to the Banshee and leave... Hang on. Yes. You return to the Banshee and leave the cove where you were anchored. If you were given the sacks containing the north and south winds, then from now on, whenever you are instructed to roll 3 dice to compare the result with your crew strength, deduct 4 points from the result of the dice roll. Which way will you head? Southeast, towards the Channel of Goth, turn to 191, or southwest towards the Rock, turn to 27. The last time I went to the Channel of Goth, and I didn't get that much further. So I'm not sure what is there exactly. What was that 43? I was trying to decipher my map here now, so I'll just have a look at some of those paragraphs that I've got on my map. Okay. Maybe I should go with Goth again. Or Rock. Rock sounds like a place where you'd find a really big bird for some reason. I'll go with the island of Goth. I'll go with Goth again, so because I wasn't finished there. So you steer wide of the hostile city of Marad. Roll 3 dice. So that is 11 minus 4 because of the bags. So that is below my crew strength, and I add 4 days to my log, so 33. As you get to within 50 leagues of the Channel of Goth, your lookout spies an island which is not indicated on any of your charge. Will you land on this island? Turn to 38. There was a luck roll there. Is that just... I don't think there was anything there. I don't think it was worth going there at all, actually. So continue towards the Channel of Goth, or head west to pass south of Trista on your way to the Rock. Okay, so 257. I'll continue towards the Channel of Goth, I think. Hang on, should I have a look at the map now? Just want to see where I am. So the rock is that thing in the middle there. Channel of Goth is there. Ah, so this is to get to the southern sea. So now I'm really sort of choosing whether to go this side or this side to get to the southern sea. Yeah, I'll try the Channel of Goth. Add 1 day to your log. Okay, so 34. When you reach the narrowest point of the Channel of Goth, an extended line of warships appears on the horizon in your direction of travel. As you approach closer, you see that there are several hundred war galleys, so I suppose I can't go that way then. With the markings of Shuropak, heading through the channel in battle formation. They stretch from the shores of the Isle of Volcanoes almost to the shores of the Eastern Rim. Turning back north to avoid conflict with this large force, you run into another long line of war galleys, this time from Marad. You realize that the two city-states must be at war with each other and that you have quite inadvertently been caught in the middle of what is about to be an enormous naval battle. How exciting! Both forces are roughly equal in size, but the Marad galleys, reputed to have 5 men on every oar, are by far the larger vessels. Will you head for safety by trying to break through the Marad lines or the Shuropak lines? Now, last time I tried to go through the Marad lines. Should I try to go through the Shuropak lines this time? I'll try to go through the Shuropak lines. Just for fun. Just for a bit of variety. So, will you cut across the front of the line of the ships, heading for the coast of the Eastern Rim, or give full sail to the Banshee and try to speed your way through the attacking vessels? That sounds very risky, but they know I'm a non-combatant, don't they? Don't they? I mean, are they stupid? Are they going to? Why do they attack me anyway? I'm not part of their conflict. So 34 east coast or 19 speed through. I should probably do another save game point now in case this is the completely wrong answer. I'm going to try to speed through. Let's see how that goes. The Banshee picks up pace as you trim the sails and aim for the space between the two nearest galleys. Will you try to run exactly between them, turn to 296, or veer off at the last moment to crash through and shear one of the galley's oars off? Interesting choice. So we have 296 exactly, or 275 shear. I'll try to go exactly between them. 296. Yeah, that was the wrong choice. But I did save my game, so that's alright. As you approach, both the galleys make a sudden turn in towards you. You avoid one, but impale the Banshee upon the ram of the other. Your stricken vessel breaks in two, scattering its unhappy sailors and captain into the ocean where the sharks, never far from a sea battle, are hungrily gathering. Your adventure is over. So that is the end. But I did save my game, so I can make this choice again now. And see if the other one actually is better, or whether I'm doomed either way. The two vessels attempt to take the Banshee out with their rams, but your cunning maneuver takes them a little by surprise. Test your luck. So test luck. And I have to make this probably, so 6, yeah, I do make it. And that is so lucky. Lucky. Let's see, 313. Lucky. 382. Lucky. 313. Your ship smashes through the warship's oars, but receives several volleys of arrows from the Shuropak Marines crowding the other vessel's decks. Lose 2 points of crew strength, down to 11. Breaking through the line of war galleys, you see a second smaller squadron following up behind. Will you go with the wind, cut in front of these vessels and head for the shore, or try to break through as you did with the first line? I will try to head for the shore now. I think I've tried my luck a little bit too much already. So I'm going to head for the shore. Shore or 2, 3, 7. Break. Through. Okay, so 261 shore. Passing at a relatively safe distance, you are surprised when a missile from a ballista mounted on one of the galleys crashes into your mast, bringing the mainsail down onto the deck in a confusion of white canvas. Roll 3 dice. So that's a crew strength test against 11, and I roll 8, 9, 10. That was so test. Let's see. So test crew strength. So that is 51, fail, and 83, success. So I did manage that, so I got 83. With a heroic effort, your crew wrestled the mainsail back into place, allowing the Banshee to pick up just enough speed to avoid the rams of the war galleys. Breaking into the open seas, will you head towards Shurupak to sell slaves and hire crew, or travel out through the middle of the Southern Sea, intent on sailing as rapidly as possible to Nippur? So, I do have 4 slaves to sell, so maybe I should go to Shurupak. So maybe I think I should go and start page 2 of my map now. So I've got 83 there. It's coming to the end of the my pencil lead now. I can feel there's only a small piece left there. So we got 301 sell slaves. 301 sell slaves, or this is FF16, or 340 Nippur. So I'm going to go into Shurupak. See if I can make a little bit more money before heading south. Shurupak is a large, fair city with sympathetic views towards the inland sea's pirates, who therefore only attack Shurupak's main rivals. Roll 3 dice. So that is log, so that is -4 because of my winds. So I got 10, which is just less than 11, which means I only take 5 days. 39. It's 50 days I had, isn't it? Just checking now. 50 days, yeah. Okay, so I need to really head south soon. Upon arrival in Shurupak, will you sell your slaves first? Turn to 349. Yes, I will, actually. I think that is more urgent. I don't need a new crew as much as I need to sell my slaves. So 349 slaves or 371 crew. So I'm going to sell my slaves first. Taking a few crewmen and all of your slaves, you head for the markets. The scene is hectic. A recent battle between Shurupak and Marad has resulted in hundreds of Maradian prisoners being taken, and most of them have been brought here to be sold as slaves. As a consequence, competition is very high and prices are low. Will you entrust the business of selling your slaves to an agent? Turn to 245. 245, agent. Or conduct the transactions yourself. Turn to 269. I suppose if you do it yourself, maybe there's a bigger sort of gap between the minimum and maximum you can get. I'm guessing now. I'm going to try to do it myself. Taking an empty space in the bazaar, you parade your captives before the prospective buyers who are casually strolling about, inspecting the various traders' wares. Roll 1 die. So 1d6. And there are 3 possible outcomes. So we have 94, 122, 72, 324, or 59, 526. I don't know whether good, low or high is good here. So I'll roll a 3. That's right in the middle. That should be okay. Trade is brisk, if uninspiring. After a day's work in which you managed to sell every one of your captives, you find that you received an average 10 gold pieces each. So that is 10 gold pieces. So, each 10 gold pieces. So that's 4 slaves at 10. So that's we got 195 gold now. I have no idea whether that's good or not. Right, so turn to 279. So there we are, 279. If you haven't already, you can try to hire more crew. Otherwise, you return to the Banshee and leave Shuropak. So, we go here, 371. Or leave 238. So 230. Leave. Now, I don't have much crew to fill up. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to leave Shuropak. So 238. Hoisting sail and weighing anchor, you head out of Shuropak's port and into the southern sea. Will you sail along the coast and then to the Three Sisters, or head for the open sea and speed towards Nippur? I only have 11 days, which means I may not have time for another adventure. It would be a shame to arrive on day 51 or something like that. Let's see, 3, 7, 8. Nippur. Or 167. Three Sisters. Let's have a look at the map now. See if I got any. So I'm in Shuropak. Head for the Three Sisters or Nippur. It's on my way though. It's on my way. I'll go to the Three Sisters. Okay. 167. The Banshee cuts through the southern sea towards the Three Sisters. Roll 3 dice. So -4 again, so 8, so that is below, and we add 4 days to the log, so we're now on day 43. Much time left. As you approach the 3 islands, you see that they are grouped together quite closely. The nearest island is low and looks fertile, with neatly tended orchards and small villages of thatched huts. The next island is actually an extinct volcano, its cone rising thousands of feet into the air, while the lower slopes are heavily timbered. The other island is, like the first, quite low, but is dominated by palms and sand. Which will you land on? So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3 options, obviously, 1 for each sister. So 386, neat. 369, volcanic. Or 354, palms. I don't know. I mean, the neat-looking one, they would have people who might have money. There's no point taking more slaves now, probably. The volcanic one might have something interesting going on with the volcano. There might be caves or something. The palm-covered one, I don't know. It sounds like a place people might bury their treasure. I don't know. I'll try the neat-looking one. Should I? No. Palm-covered? No. Volcanic. I'll go with the volcanic because that's the first one I thought of. Maybe I should go. I'll go with the volcanic one today. Maybe I'll saving my game again. Saving game. Yep. Save game. Dropping anchor in a quiet lagoon, you head ashore with most of your crew. The island has a sandy beach completely encircling it, while inland from the shore is a blanket of dense jungle foliage. Would you head along the beach or into the jungle? Welcome to the jungle. Let's see. 23, beach. 42, jungle. I'm going to head along the beach. Have a look at the beach. Have a stroll on the beach. Why not? Yeah. That's not a good choice at all, is it? So, let's see. You march over the sand for several hundred yards until, without warning, the beach collapses under your collective feet, revealing huge slime-covered creatures which seize some of your crew in their claws and carry them out to sea. Deduct 2 points from crew strength. Hysterical with fear, your crew insist that you take them back to the Banshee. Will you force them to continue along the beach? Turn to 86. 86. Or suggest that you all head inland instead. Well, I have saved my game. I'll see what happens on the beach. Maybe what happens on the beach stays on the beach. Move, scum, you say, unsheathing your scimitar, or you'll have more to worry about than monsters. Test your luck. I suppose if I fail this, there'll be mutiny. 7, that was a fail. So 230. Lucky, 182, unlucky. No way, Captain, they scream. We're sick of all the places you keep taking us to. We're going back to Tak. At least our enemies there are human. They sprint off down the beach, seize the ship's boat, and return to the Banshee. Sailing off to the north, they leave you stranded. Your adventure is over. So that is the end. But I saved my game, so I'm going to go into the jungle. What's our time? Yeah, we can still do a little bit more. So let's just pretend we saved our game, which we did, and I'll just keep going a little bit. Cutting your way through the jungle, you penetrate into the interior, coming face to face with the biggest and ugliest looking critter you have ever seen. Hundreds of tree trunk legs support a body twice as long as a banshee, while its head, which is mostly mouth, is stacked with knives' teeth. Will you run or fight? Run or fight, something like that. Well, it sounds like that's definitely a run situation. 54, run, or 70. Fight. I'm going to run. I'm going to run. Tearing off through the jungle like a herd of panic-stricken animals, you and your pirates dash to the beach, into your boats and back to the Banshee. If you haven't already, you sail to either the neat-looking island or the palm-covered island. So, of course, I can choose any of those again, which is interesting. So, palm or neat. Okay, so I'll just go to the neat one. I think that's... Do I have to go to all of these islands now? As you draw near the island, several hundred villagers run down to the shore, beating drums and waving floral garlands in the air. They are fair-skinned people with both men and women, wearing their long flaxen hair in a single plait down the back. It seems they are quite happy to see you. Will you land and ask these people for provisions, or press on to another island? Interesting choice. Are they trying to... do they want us to sacrifice us to the volcano or something? I don't know. It's I don't trust them when they act like that. 324 provisions. 314. Another island. I'm just going to go to another island, I think. So 314. I don't trust them for a minute. You sail either to the volcanic island or the palm-covered island. Oh, actually, I still don't have an option of going onto Nippur, so I suppose it would have to be the palm-covered island in that case. So let's see, we're going there. Palms, 354. Heaving to a short distance from the shore, you disembark with most of your crew. The beach is wide and... oh, see, my map is a little bit off kilter now, sorry. The beach is wide and sandy, but the interior consists of clumps of coconut palms. Will you head along the beach or inland? Right. Beach or inland? Beach. Again. 271. Beach. Or 282. Inland. I want to go on the beach. What's the worst thing that could happen? You have travelled only a short distance when a giant crayfish scuttles out of the sea and up the beach, intent on grabbing one of your crew as a tasty snack. Being about 20 feet long, armed with 5-foot claws and protected by thick skin, it is a formidable foe. Technically, crayfish don't have skin, but yeah, we'll let that pass. Your crew defend themselves. Right. Yeah, they have exoskeletons, not skins. Right, so we've got 12, 9, and versus a 9, 8. So my crew has a 3 skill or strike point advantage. 5, 10, 6, 9, 4, 5, and finally perhaps 8 and 4. Well, that wasn't the last roll. 3 and 4. Sorry, almost cheated accidentally there by just being a bit mindless. Right, so I got 7 crew strength left. And I go to, so that is a 9, 8, and I go to 1, 1, 6. The giant crayfish will certainly satisfy all of your food requirements, and with the discovery of a freshwater stream a short distance away, all of your provisioning needs are fulfilled. Okay, so maybe that is the right choice, so possibly. I'm going to do a dotted circle here because it looks like that might be possibly the best option right here in the Three Sisters. Return to the boundary, leave the Three Sisters on the last leg of the journey to Nippur, turn to 7. So maybe if I didn't go to the Three Sisters, I would be running low on provisions. I don't know. Roll 3 dice, so that is crew strength test. Let's see. So I've got a crew strength of 7, but I've got to get the 4 bonus for the bags of winds. So 11 is what I'm rolling against, and I roll 10, so that is below. So let's see. So 7, so crew strength and so 3, 5, 6 equal or above, and 387 less. Okay, so 387. A storm blows up out of the south, making the going difficult. Your crew, however, are equal to the task of keeping the Banshee on course. When the weather clears, you see a destination, the Isle of Nippur, on the horizon. Were you given, earlier in this adventure, 2 bags by the King of the Four Winds? So we have 299 winds or 32 knots. So I do have the bags of the Four Winds, or 2 of the winds. The bags from the King of the Four Winds. 2 of the winds from the bag. Two of the bags of wind from the King of the Four Winds. After you were given the 2 bags by the King of the Four Winds, did you give your inquisitive crew 100 gold pieces to stop them looking in the bags? Interesting option there. So, does that mean somebody's been peeking? So 32. Huh? Interestingly, the option for having given my crew 100 gold pieces to not look in the bags is the same as not having the winds in the first place, which means that giving them the money would have been a bad thing. That one's not there. So 379. Not 100 gold pieces. Huh, interesting. So 379. Oh, that is quite bizarre. Okay, so obviously if you get those wins... okay, some of your crew, still believing that the bags contain treasure which you were unwilling to share with them, sneak into your cabin while you are on deck. Finding the bag containing the south wind, they open it to discover why you had kept it hidden. The south wind leaps out, howls around your cabin, then escapes out of a window. Blowing ferociously, it whips up a terrifying storm. I don't usually have windows on boats, but which carries the Banshee back to the north. For 3 weeks, the gale blows, tossing your ship before it. Finally, it peters out, depositing the Banshee just offshore from the city of Tak, your starting point. You don't have enough time to sail to Nippur again, so you have lost the bet. Your adventure is over, and I think that's actually quite a good place to stop now, because I don't think that's covered by any of my save games. The end. So if you do get those wins, you also need to pay 100 gold for it, or you lose the game. That is a really interesting thing. So maybe you're better off not getting them in the first place. Yeah. Because obviously then it seems that having got the wins and paid 100 gold pieces is the equivalent of not having got them in the first place, as far as the choices in the book are concerned. So yeah, that's a really interesting thing there. So I need to avoid getting those. Those are definitely not the right options up there. Right, I thought that was quite an interesting playthrough today. I hope you liked it too. I was quite enjoying this a bit more now that I got a bit further. But I'm still a little bit sort of stumped about what to do now. Obviously, I did get quite a bit of gold, so it seems that I'm really on the right track now. I don't know how much gold I need, but for my next playthrough, I should avoid getting the bags of the winds. That seems to be a bad idea. But otherwise, apart from that, it seems that some of the choices I made were quite good, or reasonably good. Some tricky bits where you actually have to roll a bit against luck and cruise strength, cruise strength, where it could go either way. So yeah, quite an interesting adventure this. And looking at my map now, that means I've only seen a tiny fraction of the book now, because this is, how many paragraphs do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So maybe we got just over 100 somewhere. So a third of the book perhaps I've covered. Less than a half, definitely. So there's still a lot to go, and there are still adventures to be had in this. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, join me on Patreon, all those things that people do on YouTube. And if you'd like to see more of my videos on this or anything else, and to help my channel, it does help a lot. Yeah, I'll see you next time when I will be playing this game a bit more, and I'll just have to, in the meantime, probably study my map a little bit and see what I should be doing next time. It seems to me also that having anything less than a crew strike of 12 is probably not going to make this very easy. It's hard enough already, even with the crew strike of 12. And having a little bit more of crew strength would have been helpful too, but not as necessary as a crew strike. Luck seems also to be quite pivotal in this, more so. So luck and crew strike, I think, are the two most important abilities we have here. Anyway, thanks for watching, as I said, and goodbye for now.